to Under the Table. We're halfway through the episode. Welcome back to Under the Table. This is a post-game talk show where we discuss all things TTRPG related to the campaign at large. Current one being Strange Town Golden Ridge, DM'd and story told by Mr. Pickles. Excuse me, we've got the cast and crew of the episode here. We've got Fred, who is the voice of Detective Frederick Verde. We've got Daisy here, the voice of Dr. Iris Forsyth. And we've got myself, I am Marath, and I play the character called Kingsman. This is your show, Mr. Pickles. How would you like to kick off Under the Table?
Yeah, and I'm the guy who hangs around and watches everything go down.
Totally not creepy.
Yeah, well, it's not creepy. It's friendship. Yeah, so
That's what they all say.
This is an interesting episode to me because I looked at this as you have four major avenues of areas to look into. You have the body on the road. You have the alcohol at the farmhouse that you'd left behind. You have the address of Jed's house. You have the address of Mystery House. And I felt like those were four distinct avenues you could explore, get more clues, figure out what happened. And I was very glad that you guys eventually went back to explore the place. There's a lot of destruction there, though. And I was very surprised that you guys decided to drink the alcohol. Everybody except for Detective Verde.
In my defense, I've got one power and I haven't used it at all ever. And I was like, I gotta do something with this. So when she pointed out,
you survived a lake.
but besides the time I died and then didn't die because some homeless guy just left me for dead. Fuck him. When Doctor pointed out, hey, the sigil is the same as yours, I was like, oh, it's my time, it's my moment to shine. Rah! Like, I'm going for it.
Let me stick this head in this random ass barrel.
And then it's like, it didn't help you at all, and I'm like, fuck.
I wouldn't say it didn't help
currently.
Yeah,
that's it didn't help.
Well, the same thing that happened to me happened to her. We both had visions. Me having a rune and superpowers literally did nothing. Besides the fact that I could just sit in there longer than her.
Well,
you saw something different.
Right.
Yeah, and it was like more intense.
Just think that the next time the mafia gets mad at you and tries to make you swim with the fishes, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll just hang out and wait for someone to come save me, except I don't think they will. Alright, well, Kingsman's gone. So anyways...
It's not just the sigil of water. I made sure to tell you, you have an edge, and it's called the sigil of the lake.
Yeah,
and
blessing
one
of the lake.
of the benefits gives you the ability to breathe without needing oxygen.
Right, and that's where I think it comes down to the point that Verde made in the episode, where Verde was like, basically I was like, I'm not really a superpowered being at all. It's actually that guy that I had a vision of. I think he's a superpowered being, not me. And Verde was like, well then go get better superpowers. And I was like,
you have a point.
I was like, maybe I should. So it was at that point, because the way I see it, I was talking with Pickles about this privately. Verde, as much as we joke around and he's mean to me, Verde, I have a lot of respect for. He's a police officer. He has a career. He's got knowledge on the stuff that's going on around him. He's able to handle it. You know, he's professional, so on and so forth, right? The doctor, she showed up out of fucking nowhere. She's got fame, you know, degrees, a job, like all this stuff going on for her, and the knowledge of the occultism, which is kind of popped up a little bit. That's why I think I suggested to her that she bring that up more, because it's like, holy shit, that's something we don't have. So from my point of view, I'm looking at them like they have so much to offer. What do I have? I have guns. Oh, well, she already outgunned me. Okay, I have
apparently has claymores.
Yeah, I have my power. Oh, well, my power doesn't do shit. His mime knife does more than my power. So I was like, fuck.
I don't even use the mime knife.
Yeah, and it's still better than my power.
Hold up. That's something I think that's relevant here. He doesn't really use his mime knife, but when he has, you found out that there was a little ability you didn't expect. You were told that it could make weapons, and then you made a phone.
Yeah, that was weird. It also apparently has pre-programmed speed dial.
And well, yeah, but that's important. But your sigil of the lake, one of the benefits is that you don't need oxygen to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
there are more things that you can discover with that.
Right, and that's where I was getting to. He brought up the point, go get more superpowers or better superpowers, and I was like, So that's why I think going into the next episode, I was thinking we left on a note where he's hanging out with Doctor Doom and what's his name? Craig Hall.
Are we going into this already?
And yeah, well, this is a whole topic that we'll need to discuss, I'm sure. But basically, we Dr. Iris and I we left. And I was thinking about it, I was like, where would we go? And I was like, I think the best thing for us to do is to get knowledge on, or for me, I'm like, I need knowledge on this thing. I can't help if I don't know what the hell it is. And so we need to get knowledge on it. The problem is that I'm not the one who's good at that. So I'm like, I don't know how to help. So Doctor, I need you to do your occultism thing and get me knowledge so that I can help. But then Pickles...
You are the only one with research, though. I think you're the only one with research as a skill.
Do I have it? Oh, see, I'm useful.
He does have research.
Okay.
Yeah, you have research at D6.
So let's tag team this together, and we're going to research, and we're going to figure out what that thing was. But then I thought another thing we could research is, okay, these runes are a thing. Maybe there's something out there about it, and we can...
You have a fucking book.
Yeah, I have a book.
Verda has the book of sigils.
I don't have a book of sigils. I didn't know.
Verda has a book of sigils, and he has...
Man, if someone would have shared information with the party, that would have been great.
Yeah, no, it would be awesome.
You guys all know he has the book of sigils. Well, okay, maybe not you, Daisy. You're excluded here. But you know... Well, you watched all the episodes.
But I didn't... I'm not supposed
to. That's the thing as a GM. I think this is a callback to Animal Companions and your Rhino. It's like... you can give something, and it can be ignored completely for perfectly valid reasons. Like, there's a guy in the room with a gun at that point, and you just grab a book and you're like, okay, I have this. You don't think about it because you just survived trauma. That wasn't your situation, but I mean, you do have a book of sigils.
I don't have a book of sigils.
I forgot.
You as a party has a book of...
That would be great to know, because I could use that.
Well, you do know. You were there.
Yeah, and you have a German book of dreams about people who...
The German book is...
It's not the German book. I thought it was the German book.
No.
Well, no, that didn't have much. He got the book from the librarians in the early adventure too. I gave you a book of sigils. Well, mid adventure too. You weren't there, Daisy. You're not responsible.
Did they get the book back from the librarians?
No, they gave it to you to keep.
Yeah,
the German one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I gave that.
Okay.
What the? Wait, I need this book.
See, no, and that's a perfect example of what we were talking about with drinks and discussions. Is it's very easy for players, especially when you're getting like a lot of stimuli at the same time. It's so easy to be like, "What book of sigils? The fuck?"
It's just really nice if you had access to it, but you just left the guy that knows where it is.
Well, maybe this is what you have under the table, so we can share information.
Okay. Let's get to what I think is the biggest part of this under the table. The ending of the last episode. I know it's a little spoilery, but I know that based on my conversations this morning with some of you guys, so the ending of the adventure or of the session last night was that you met up with Craig Hall, the demonologist. He told you he's a demonologist. You now know that. You had showed up with the alcohol you wanted, but you guys kind of left the detective to fend for himself. You both, Doctor and King, jumped into the truck and or jumped into your vehicles and drove off. I think you all drove your vehicles there.
Yeah, we all drove our vehicles there.
You drive an alcohol vehicle now. That's just a fact.
Yeah, that's what I drove because someone took away my one vehicle.
I'd like for you to punish them.
You have a truck full of beer now. What do you want?
Yeah. Yeah, so when that happened, it was really funny because as it was going down, I'm sitting there going, this is a being of unknown power who just literally didn't give a fuck about anything we could do to it. And I was
what did you do to it?
I threw rotten eggs at it like a normal person would.
So just
to be fair, I wasn't alone. All of a sudden, the doctor came over and started throwing eggs too.
Just started throwing eggs too,
which is I thought was weird, but
that's basically the equivalent of like Warhammer hedge magic of I can repel rain.
Okay,
I can
well,
repel small objects thrown
I
at me
don't
that
have
wouldn't do
any
damage.
magic, so seeing a creature that's like, I'm fucking
Yeah.
magical, bitch, and I'm like, oh fuck. Like,
Demonologist.
so that's why I was like, I'm stepping out of the room, and she was like, I'm also leaving, and Fred's like, I'll shoot you in the knee. And I'm like, you're an idiot. Like, that's not gonna do anything.
Okay. So I will say that was more of a, hey, you want something from me and are willing to do stuff to me, but it won't get you to the thing you want. I can try and do stuff to you. It's not going to do anything, but it's also not going to get me what I want.
Okay.
So it's a give and take here, but neither of us win if you do that.
So that goes to
was
my next
basically what that
point,
was.
where it was like, hey, this powerful being that we know is not on our side, is probably evil, was like, I want this one thing. And you're like, okay, give it to him. I'm like, no. Like, that's not the right answer. You don't give the devil the one thing he needs to be super powerful.
That's the thing, though, is it's not just the one thing. It's not like, oh, I've been looking for this forever. He's been drinking this on Saturdays, on the weekends, at bars for forever.
Maybe it's a temporary boost that he becomes super fucking powerful, and he's like, give me one more. And we're like, no.
You've seen him drink before. You've seen him drink this beverage.
Yeah, he's been drinking it before, and he didn't go on a rampage or anything. Go ahead, Desi.
He did also say, "Drink it, and I will get visions and tell you stuff." So, and 2 of us had visions from it. So
Yeah, I know this isn't just a Capri Sun I'm giving him.
Right, and
Yeah.
Verde knows that too, but it's like, I mean,
So in my mind, you're like,
it's not gonna
hey,
hurt
can you
anything.
go get the alcohol? I was like, yeah, I'll go get the alcohol. In my mind, I was like, I'm getting it away from him. Yeah, that makes sense. And apparently I wasn't alone, because she even wrote, she's like, let's go. I was like, all right. So we got in the car and got the alcohol away from the scene. While
it didn't tell Verde a word. Just like, bye!
Basically, Verde was like, go do this. And we're like, we're going to go do this. And then we leave, and you're like, where are they going? I was like, I thought we were all on the
2
same
different
page.
pages.
Somebody read between the lines and got on a different page than Verde was on.
Yeah, it was one of those adventures. If you do this, turn to page 7 or turn to page 14, and we went to different pages.
Go to page 24 if you want to follow his words to the letter. Go to page 36 if you want to say, fuck Verde.
That is not what we did.
No, I thought that'd make Verde laugh, though.
This is
I wanted
not
to
at
make
all what
Fred
we did.
laugh.
If you're so worried that we just said fuck you, so leaving you with this creature is us saying fuck you, so why are you hanging out with the creature at all? If that's the wrong thing to do, why the fuck are you doing it?
From what Verde, from his point of view, he's trying to. This is not the first powerful being he's had a talk with. Even though the first powerful being he had a talk with was decidedly unfriendly, and this one's relatively friendly. So he's like, all right, it's worked once with something that wanted to kill me. Let's try it this time with something that so far doesn't want to kill me. And then as soon as he makes a sort of proto deal, you 2 take off with the stuff he's trying to make a deal with. It's like, what the fuck?
But now I think that's clear that they weren't thinking that same thing.
No,
they were not on that wavelength that you were on there.
No.
Yeah, he's so mad at us for not communicating. When the fuck did you tell us your plan?
Well,
He
okay,
said, "Go get the alcohol."
I
That's
think we
his
could throw this
plan.
around in spades. Something we could do in the future, of course, with this is instead of
We all
Well,
pause,
he-
we pull out our phones, and we make Pickles narrate us texting to each other.
Back to that. Hey, hang on, demonologist dude. I gotta make sure.
Hang on,
we're all on the
we got a
same
text.
page.
oh fuck, I got a text.
Pickles narrate.
hold up, man. Hold up. He's just like, oh yeah, I have time. I'm robbing a house. I have time.
He's sitting over. He's like, "Why are your texts all on voice to text? This is weird."
Don't
Yeah,
worry
it's
about it.
just narrating out loud.
Yeah, why is it reading all your texts out loud?
King,
Sorry.
you could hold him at gunpoint.
That's not gonna do
you don't
anything.
have
Literally no reason. That's the other thought that I had. Like, he's so mad that we're not there. What are we gonna do? Like, we're not protecting you.
It's so much that you're not there. It's you ran off with the thing he was making a deal with. So now, if he was going to kill him, there's no reason not to.
Even chat says Verde's priorities are questionable.
Verde once I asked this question actually at the beginning of the session. Like why is Verde even in this town? He grew up here, he grew up in the hills, things are bad and getting worse. Why is he here? And your answer was that you are trying to save the people who actively ridicule you and don't believe what you're doing is even helping society.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that explains a lot.
Yeah, that's big.
He's trying to do the job he got hired for. Screw the magic, screw everything mystical. I'm got a job to do. I'm trying to do it because it's the right thing to do.
What are your thoughts, Daisy?
I actually wrote some notes and stuff about why I did what I did.
Oh, someone came prepared.
Yeah, I'm not even prepared for anything.
Yeah, I tried. I pitched this
supposed to
idea.
take
I
notes?
just like to shoot back to the first 5 minutes of drinks and discussions. Hey, maybe we should come prepared with notes and stuff. Nah, fuck that. Anyways, go ahead.
We spent an entire session on one question when you gave
No, we
five.
didn't. We
and
spent 10 minutes on it and then just talked about King's Crossing for the rest of the episode.
Well, yeah, it was a jumping point. Anyways,
Daisy.
Some of the notes is she's absolutely terrified about this immortal guy that knows way too much. No way, she's out. And handing their only bargaining chip, Verde is smarter than that. So, my thoughts are that he's not as stupid as I'm assuming. He's obviously has a plan.
Verde.
After we leave, I'm like, you know what? He's really smart. He probably knows what he's doing. But beforehand, it's, I'm gonna die. He's gonna die. The dog's gonna die. The cop's gonna die. Everyone's gonna die because this thing is incredibly aggressive and, it's just not gonna end well.
What made it aggressive, though?
Yeah, I would agree with Verde there. Craig Hall hasn't been aggressive.
All that's happened is
Remember
you've
all the stuff
thrown rotten eggs at the dude and got reflected back off a shield. That's
The
not
alien
really-
monster things
No, there
are
were
aggressive.
threats. There were threats.
Was there threats?
Yeah, I think he did threaten. And he told me to shut the fuck up. That's what I was like, goddamn. But then you guys kept interrupting him, and he didn't care at all. And I was so mad. I was like, what the fuck?
I don't remember threats.
Why would one have disdain for the king?
I'm not even the king. I'm an imposter.
He's a pasta.
Oh, sorry. I thought your name was Kingsman.
Yeah, you got me confused. I stole someone's identity.
Could you guys remind me what threats he made?
He did, yeah. I don't
remember word for word because I usually rewatch before, but I don't remember exactly.
I actually
know
don't pay
the
attention to whatever the fuck the
You know what he
storyteller's
said.
talking about.
I don't remember what I said last night. I mean,
He did.
No,
I do have
a list.
or at least I felt threatened. I can say that.
Yeah.
I have a list of some things that I want to have said in conversation, but the problem with my system here is that I'm never sure what I actually said unless I actually review it. So it's like, did I say this clue threat?
I feel like the threat was probably more of stop throwing rotten eggs at me or I'll do this.
God, we got to rewatch
I think
this
it was
episode. That was a
before
wild
the
time.
eggs.
Yeah, because there was one point where I sat down and I
Well,
was
if he
like,
threatens
answer
you,
all those
always throw
questions or I'm
eggs
gonna
at him.
answer all those. You threatened to shoot him in the knees.
After
That's
the
fine.
eggs thing.
You guys really shouldn't have done that. I might kill him, but you guys really shouldn't have done that.
No, wouldn't have
Okay.
killed him. He would've
Okay,
wanted me.
Verde.
I'm
For most
fine.
people,
Okay, Verde.
Why do you
No.
say he's immortal?
well, that was just a note. I was like,
If eggs can't affect him, nothing will.
He did say he was mortal.
yeah, he said he was mortal, but this is more of what she's thinking, not fact. I mean,
Yeah,
if
well,
something can
yeah.
invisible shield and yesterday was the first day that she was actually involved in all of this in the world, so she's just kind of freaking out.
Yeah, I guess
He
before
did-
this it was all conspiracies. Now you're like, what the
Yeah, it was
fuck
all
is happening?
theory and books, and now it's reality.
He did
Yeah.
tell you he was mortal, right?
Yeah, he did.
That's not something mortal people say.
Yeah, I thought that was odd.
Or
Yeah, Johnny's
mortal
Because he
people
was like,
who
I'm
hang out.
109.
Yeah, he's
I'm
like
like,
ancient
okay.
and all this stuff, and I was just like, this guy's way out of our league.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I mean,
not
that could
Bjorn.
be a power play of if you wanted to make people feel uncomfortable, wouldn't you say something you shouldn't intentionally?
It worked. I was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Between a guy who can't be touched and a guy who can breathe underwater, I'm outgunned here.
So, on that point, that's kind of why Verde returned the, oh yeah, well, I can shoot you, but that doesn't mean it's going to do something. You can try and, bluff me into giving the alcohol, but it's not going to get you that either. Because at this point, Verde has talked to other beings that are powerful, like I've said before, and I guess that's kind of where a lot of the disconnect is. This isn't Verde's first rodeo. While this is the first, I'm assuming this is the first time that either Kingsman or Forsyth has talked to a powerful being.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're the one who talked to the purple chick. I didn't. I just stole a fang from a dead thing. I mean, a thing I killed.
Yeah,
but,
it was. Yeah, I totally killed it. It wasn't dead when I got there.
But no, that's a good point because, like she said, Verde's not stupid. He's doing something that seems really stupid, but he's not stupid. So there's probably something he knows that we don't, and he's got some plan. I would agree with that. Kingsman's probably the same thing. You've been around this shit a lot longer. Every time something's come up, you're just kind of like, it's nothing. I'm like, no, it's definitely something. And so in this situation, you're probably just like, I can go toe to toe with this thing, and I'm like, that's great for you. I love that for you. I can't.
But I am out of here.
Yeah. Listen, all right, if he puts my head in the fish tank, we're good. If he does literally anything outside of that, I'm fucked.
So, do you guys want to know what Verde's plan was? Is that something you guys would be interested in, or you want to keep it secret?
I mean, we talked about our plan. Our plan is to go learn about this thing so that we actually have an edge against it.
So, Verde's plan before you guys took off with the alcohol was to entice him with like a mug of it, and that was the reward for the first question. Hey, if you answer all of my questions, I have more where that came from. So
my only thought is, this is a guy who literally has a force field. What stops him if he's like, oh, the alcohol's all right there? Okay.
But force fields are not like all powerful.
Oh, pardon me from not knowing the extent of this guy's powers.
Well, I know that.
Maybe if we went and did some research and learned what this guy's capable of.
I'm saying is that there's always a weakness to something.
You say what, Pickles?
He stole his wallet.
What good did that do me? I gave it to the cops and they lost it.
It means you can touch him when you're up close, at least.
Which
that's kind of
what I was thinking about when I made the shotgun threat. Is how close do I need to be under this force field?
My thought is he played us for fools and he's just acting like a drunk guy at a bar when really he's fucking Doctor Strange.
I don't know if that was an act so much as just a.
Or maybe when he drinks the alcohol, it's his weakness, and he becomes.
I don't know if it's his weakness or if that's just how he is.
Yeah. I'm hearing a lot of I don't know. Maybe we should go do some research on this guy and figure out.
It's kind of hard to do research when you're in the room talking to him.
That's a great point. Maybe leave the room and get in a truck and drive away. Huh? Who would have thought of that?
Yeah, but then how are we going to find him again?
You could leave one barrel of alcohol that you'd already stuck your fatigued face into.
Okay, you ain't gotta call me out like that.
You were a little sweaty. But you could leave that gross barrel and then research on the other 2 barrels.
So, at this point, I have no idea what Verde is going to do. Well, I have a little bit of an idea, but...
Text your friends.
Where the fuck did you go?
I even have their numbers.
I've got Kingsman's.
You can text me. I have a voice to text. It reads it out if I'm driving.
It sounds like this guy named Pickle.
Yeah, it's pretty great. He's this famous guy. He runs a podcast.
It's just a weirdly random local person like, hey, your friend says, gonna be there soon.
It's not even just like direct to your phone. It goes to somebody else who calls
even
you
better.
and reads out the text.
It's one of those like Telegram things where they like show up at your work and they're like, your friend told me to send you this. Hey, where are you? That'll be $5.
Pulls up in a car while you're driving down the road. Verde says, "Where the fuck are you?"
He said you'd pay me for this.
So I have a question for Daisy here. Given the dynamic between these two, how have you felt as Dr. Iris Foresight dealing with their chaos? Especially this episode, early on, there was a lot of chaos with an arrest warrant and guns drawn at an apartment door in the morning.
I didn't draw my gun. I was just banging on the door.
No, he drew his gun.
Oh, he
Yeah.
drew his gun. Yeah.
Oh my god,
You
that
didn't
was a
see it.
whole scene. Because Pickles is like, you were about to betray them. I was like, no, they fucking betrayed me.
I thought you were just gonna leave, and I'm like, but
I
Daisy,
absolutely was gonna leave. They're like, we're going to arrest you. I'm like, well, fuck you too then.
how
Of course I'm not just gonna be like, okay.
how do you feel
Okay,
about
so
these two?
With that, I figured you'd know it was a joke because it's obviously Verde.
Verde has
That's what I
threatened
thought
to
too,
shoot
but-
me in the head like 14 times. Why would I think
Has he
this is
done
gonna
it
do-
though?
Love Daisy's commentary here.
Yeah. Sorry, Daisy, go ahead.
Sorry.
But like, how have you been acclimating with these two, and what did you think of that scene?
Well, I love their chaos. To me, it's just hilarious. I love it. And like being a
is
part
pretty
of
funny.
it and getting to like change the situation is interesting. Um, I think this session was a lot better in terms of interacting with both of them because the last one was so chaotic with the big creature and it being the middle of the night and all that.
I did like the scene where I was like, why are you here? He's like, what? Oh, why are you here?
Where'd you come from?
Wait.
Hi.
Like, we go from, I'm gonna shoot you, I'm gonna arrest you, to, how'd you get here?
The opening was great.
It's a weird diffuser moment. But
Yeah,
Pickles was like,
diffuser.
you betrayed them. I was like, no. As soon as I knew he wasn't betraying me, I opened the door and let them come in and have coffee. Like, I wasn't
Yeah, I mean,
betraying anyone. I'm there for my friends. I didn't threaten to arrest
Well,
him.
you weren't betraying anybody, yeah.
I wasn't betraying
I-
anyone at all. If you betrayed me, yeah, I was going
I
to fight
know.
for my life. Yes.
I'm joking.
No, I'm telling, like, Pickles was
Yeah,
like, why would
yeah.
you do that? And I was like, no, I feel like I was warranted.
I think me and Pickle was on the same page, and then it
Yeah,
went
we were,
over
and that's why I
Kingsman's
got
head.
confused.
I feel
Yeah.
like that entire episode, it was you two on the same page and us two on the same page.
It's the
You're
weirdest
not
thing when I
wrong.
open like with like a 15 to 30 minute just one specific character and I'm like exploring where they are in time. I feel way too connected, and it becomes their episode. And I feel like that's an anime thing, but I don't even watch anime, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm confused by my
Wrath-
storytelling, my
There's
writing.
something we need to work on. We need an anime opening for both of our campaigns.
That would be
Yes.
really sick. I don't watch anime
Yes, we
either, but I
Cool.
feel like that would be sick. Like an anime fucking intro to our story would be awesome.
Have you seen the Star Wars anime intro? Oh,
Once
you
again,
don't?
let me
Yeah.
reset.
No,
what
no,
you
no,
said. I don't watch any anime, but I think
Yeah,
it would be
I mean,
really
it's
cool.
it's not an anime. Just somebody made an anime like intro.
Oh no,
for the Star
no, I
Wars
haven't seen
movies.
it.
That sounds
You need to
fun.
look it up. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, well,
Back on
Um,
topic. Sorry.
Where were we?
them betraying me.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, so I was with him. Like I saw it as a joke, and then your reaction, I was like, "Holy shit! What? Wait, what?" Titan's like, "What? I didn't. You didn't
Another
give me
reason why I didn't like my dog. This is
Tyson,
the animal
what are you doing?
companion thing all over again.
Dog.
The animal companion thing. My dog's not doing what I needed to do. What use are you?
because he's hungry, and also your storyteller was very confused. Like, why are you fleeing from your friends?
Because
Do I
my
really
friends
wanna
are
have-
trying to arrest me. I don't know
Do
if
I
you were
really
there for
want to
this.
have a scene where you go down the fire escape and you run away from your friends? They open up to your apartment. They see the open up like window, and they're like, "Oh, we got to go down the fire escape." And then they go down the fire escape, and they follow after you. And I'm like, "Okay, so what store do you want to go into?" And you're
Yeah,
like,
no,
well, what's
that
around
wouldn't.
them?"
No, I agree. It wouldn't have gone. Like, I don't know how we would have played that out if I had actually escaped.
That
So
was
I
on
think,
Titan.
yeah, I think it worked well. I hate that Titan had to be the scapegoat here, but
He had to be like, "Come on, just feed me, dude."
Just
Anyway, he's like,
feed
he's
me, bro.
scratching
I
at his
don't-
bowl. I was like, I don't give a fuck. We're gonna die.
Hey, I need food.
Yeah,
I
was
don't
like,
care about the people at the door. I need
God,
food.
your priorities are as bad as Verde's. Fuck.
Made a lot of sense though.
My
Like-
dog being
Tried.
hungry.
No, like the way he acted, it kind of circled back to the really intense moments at the beginning of like the second adventure, where you were full like at every moment I'm gonna go full metal like intense. And I don't know, I think it made a lot of sense.
So
I think it
that's-
also makes sense because my dog is probably like, yo, that's Verde. Why are you like? He doesn't
Yeah.
know what a rest means.
What the fuck are you
He's
doing,
just
you know?
like, I know that voice. That's our friend. Where are you going? Like,
He's gonna pet me.
yeah,
I
can
need
see
I need
that.
food.
Yeah,
I need food and then I need pets. Come on.
I can see that. I'll say I'm
So something I want to ask you, Daisy, since you're new to the campaign, do you think both of our characters are still on brand from when we started?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Granted, she didn't get to see chapter 1, adventure
Yeah.
1.
I have heard a couple things, but from what I've seen, definitely still on brand.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I specifically wasn't
For
straying.
sure. Yeah.
Staying true to character and everything.
Yeah.
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 That's one thing I've always like tried to make sure I do is like, am I doing what my character would do or am I doing what I would do?
Mhm.
And I think I've done that a lot in this campaign because I'll even as I'm doing it, I'll tell Pickles, I know this isn't the right call. I know this isn't the right thing to do. I know. I'm sorry. But it's what King would do. So and it's nothing like I shoot Verde. Like it's nothing game breaking. It's just like I don't know what the instances were, but like I'm
No,
getting
I know
Jeep to
some.
drive away. Oh, go ahead.
You engage with things recklessly. Like, my character's curious. Fuck it. I just go right in the hole. Adventure 1.
Yeah.
You were like, no, I'm not going to research this further. I go right on in.
Yeah, I know this isn't the right thing to do. I'm sorry. I'm going in.
And so that's where I wonder,
Or-
like, your character's driving off. Does he have those curious thoughts of, what if this demonologist knows what happened to your wife? Sorry, fiance.
My sister?
What, Kingsman's got a fiance?
Your
What?
sister.
It's like, who?
I don't know. All of
Did you even read
humans
my
have-
backstory?
Her backstory,
I thought it was
didn't
your
know that.
fiance, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I
but,
What is this
um,
backstory? You
I
speak
worked
of?
really hard on it. It's very secret. And Pickles is the only one who
yeah,
has it.
fiance.
Yeah,
I was
Verde
covering
has
for you
never
and-
once asked me about who I am in my past, so he doesn't know anything.
He's too busy asking about
Okay,
the
gotta
gun in
write
your
down
hand.
to ask.
Yeah,
I haven't asked him either, so that's to be fair.
I feel like that's something that may be a little bit lacking is backstory on both our parts.
Yeah, that's one thing that I noted. So I wrote up a whole backstory of actually why I'm in this town and what I'm doing and what's driving me.
I
Men don't share.
I think it's
That's because people just use it against you.
yeah.
Yeah. Masculinity. It's not toxic unless you're dying.
Yeah,
I-
that's
Yeah.
why men's suicide rates are 10 times what women's are because men are just great and everything's fine.
So
well,
I think that we've
Yeah.
been going a little bit
Jesus
hard
Christ.
on all the episodes.
Sorry,
I
it's
think
a
we've been
topic.
going a little
I'm-
bit hard on all the episodes to really, shoe in any backstory. We need like a beach episode.
No, that's the other thing is this game isn't King's Crossing. This game has a purpose, has a story. It is, driven in the fact that the story isn't about our characters. It's about how our characters interact with
Mhm.
the plot. Whereas King's Crossing it's about the characters. That's how I designed it. That's what it's supposed to be. Not that one's better than the other or worse than the other, except this one's better than King's Crossing, but we won't get into that. This story, then that's one thing I had to grasp. This isn't about me. I'm not the main character. I'm not like trying to, display my character on a pedestal. It's how my character interacts with the plot. And like I even told Pickles, we were discussing my edges. I was like, okay, whatever my next edge is, I want it to be something that is for the party, is for, us going forward. And he's like, well, this would be really good for you, and this would be really good for you. I was like, I agree, but I want something that's for the party and like kind of encouraging our unity and like our team dynamic going forward in the story. Because in this campaign, getting to know our characters isn't the big thing. I would say getting to know your characters in how they interact with the story is how we're going to uncover our characters. Like, seeing how Verde handles the quest, seeing how Iris handles the quest. That's how we're learning about our characters, rather than a beach episode where we're like, hey, let's go learn about our characters, because that's not, and correct me if I'm wrong.
I gave you guys an episode to go to a cabin in the woods where the first day and a half wouldn't have anything bad happening.
It's true that, yeah, we learned
And
a
you
lot about our
guys
characters.
did drink beer and shoot things.
We
Like
hung out. I invited him out for
like
beer and hot
men
dogs.
do.
Yeah,
Except not me.
I brought him out
we
for
did do
beer,
that.
hot dogs, and shooting stuff.
And
Yeah,
Red
well,
Bull.
okay.
And squirrel
Yeah.
bars.
I
Yeah.
mean, so
Yeah, then it got weird.
yeah,
Then Pickles made it weird.
Then it got really weird.
We were
I think
hanging
the
out a
ball-
bunch of
That's
bros.
gonna happen for the first couple days, but there is this weird squirrel bar, and there's also this lake that has a rune at the bottom of it, and there's also this homeless man. I don't know where he came from.
Fuck
but he's
that
here
guy,
now.
man.
and a house with a shotgun in it that could pierce through magical armor. But that's...
Wait, what?
I was just writing. I want to know what else happened.
You mean magical armor, like a demonologist who has magical armor?
Oh yeah, just like that, or like a somebody who would call themselves a squirrel lord with a magical flute.
This
that
is one of
provides
those
protection
moments where
aura.
it's like, did we mess up the plot and choose the wrong option? So we got the bad ending?
No, because as I told you guys in that, I remember mentioning it. It's like I don't want to say anything because that's one of those things where I don't want to rob you of that instance. Like if you skip over anything, I don't want to make it a punishment that you missed something. Because when I play video games, I get really pissed off when it's like, oh, you're playing through the level and you missed the part where you get the shotgun early. It's like, well, fuck me, I want the shotgun.
I feel like we probably should have grabbed that shotgun.
I don't
feel
know.
like that's
that
something
was
I
in
told
the
you.
that was in the cabin we
Yeah, I
go
feel like
to.
that's something Verde would have grabbed, but I don't
Well-
remember.
Was there ever a conclusion to everything that was happening in the woods, or
No,
is it just we've kind of
They
like
did
moved back
kinda
to the
leave.
city?
we just ran.
Yeah.
Well, to be
That's-
fair,
that's where I
on
told
our
the player.
way to the beach episode, the moment where we had rest, we come across just a mime hanging.
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
totally
Yeah,
relaxing.
yeah.
Lynching on your way to paradise. But I did say to you guys that it's an idea that I want to hold on to. I'm not going to punish you for not going there. I want to have it be an option when I write further adventures, because I do have the adventures mostly detailed in the sense of what the idea is and what things would happen and what the challenges and obstacles are. And ideally magic items, but magic items is a weakness for me. So I try to recycle things. If you miss it, then I'll put it later on. Like it all is not lost. And I want to cycle back before I have to jump off here. One of my big flaws as a storyteller, as a game master, I will say, is my propensity to when things get slow, I feel the urge to like just implement something. Something happens. The next thing happens so that you guys don't get bored. And there are times where I feel like that makes it too unsteady, where there are limited times to be sitting around shooting figurines in a cabin that your police captain rented for you. And I mean, I think it's clear a little bit for at least you, Wrath, that there's a little PTSD there. Not to make light of real PTSD. Just the your reaction to my stories is when nothing's happening, I feel like you get a little antsy because you know something might happen if nothing's happening for too long.
I can see that.
And that's
Yeah.
that's something I'm trying to work on, is giving enough time for you as players to explore your characters in a safer environment. You need to have a safe point in every campaign. If you're just constantly in danger, that's grimdark and people get depression. Well, your characters do. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, other than that's something I'm recognizing about my own storytelling capabilities and I'm trying to work on.
Bless you, Fred.
Yeah, blessings be upon you.
Yeah, I would just say, I mean, yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, it's the style of the campaign is also, driven. There's a point to it. We're there's a limited number of series. There's a limited number of adventures. The point is to go from here to here. And so if we just kind of hang out here for 40 episodes, it's just like, go! you know.
I have no problem with that if you're having fun. I just get really anxious that you guys aren't having fun if I'm not implementing something new frequently enough.
I would have fun with Cabin in the Woods shooting figurines.
I'd rather not
Hell
go
boring.
yeah.
back.
Boring. I mean, like,
I
whatever
had
you
so much
consider
there.
boring is, I don't know. I
I'm
don't think it's
perfectly
boring
okay
in the
not
slightest.
going back there.
Yeah.
I do have a kind of unrelated question, Pickle.
Go ahead, we'll wrap up on that one.
What is up with Campbell? Detective Campbell?
That guy hates you,
Detective.
bro.
Yes, I know!
That guy's a dick. Even I felt bad for you. I was like, I don't even like Verde, but damn. Like, I feel bad.
If I'm being very honest, I didn't give much detail to him when I created your character, or when we created your character, I should say.
The detail you gave him is, I hate Verde.
I just all I wrote for him basically was that he is the luckier detective in Golden Ridge, and so things go better in his favor simply because he has at least regular luck, and you have bad luck. And I wanted to give him the office that had the like window and everything, and you don't have a window, and that's basically all the thought I put into it. But as the rest of the players have looked at Detective Verde and thought, "Wow, I don't like him," or he's threatening me with a gun, or his bad attitude is pissing me off, or any of those things, or I don't understand him. I wanted to add something that's sort of like Detective Verde has a reason to be the way he is, and it's that the luck has made him the luck has made Detective Campbell sort of small town asshole. I have a specific actor in mind, but I'm spacing on the name at the moment. Rob Hubel. Rob Hubel. He's in a number of things. You can't picture him, but he's generally just like everything he's in comedy. He's just kind of a dickbag. And
So,
yeah,
I'm just warning you, Verde is this close to yanking him into an office and having a screaming match.
good.
I thought you were going to say shoot him.
Because I don't want to.
He reserves that for Kingsman.
I don't want to give you guys anything that's pointless. Every character that either I make or you guys pull into the story should be important.
See?
It's Chekhov's.
Miss Wolferson.
It's Chekhov's gun.
Miss Wolferson's canon. You can't do anything
Yo,
about it.
she's
Pickle.
important.
I've got a note that's just, oh, you can't see it. It's just Miss Wolferson in really big writing.
What is the truth behind Miss Wolferson? Because if you guys name it or I name it, it will become important.
Oh,
Miss Wolferson is behind all of it.
Chat thinks that Verde probably hooked up with Campbell's woman at one point.
Oh shit, he would. That's bad luck.
Like, yo, maybe Verde hooked up with the woman
Bad
that
luck,
Campbell like had a
question
thing
mark?
for.
But yeah, I think that's a good point to
Yep.
wrap up on. A little
Verde
bit of
got
mystery.
laid, and we're ending on that note. Thank you for joining.
Fuck yeah, Verde!
Fuck yeah, Verde!
Woo!
Thank you for joining this episode of Under the Table, post-game talk show. We're discussing Strange Town Golden Ridge. You can find the entire series up on YouTube. Episode 6 drops this upcoming weekend. Episode 7 dropping the following weekend. We just recorded those episodes, so they will be dropping. You can catch the whole series from Adventure 2 all the way through Adventure 3 up to the current point. We have a recap part in there throughout a couple episodes where we kind of discuss what happened in Adventure 1. It was lost to the Twitch VODs, displaced into the unknown, unfortunately. But there's catch up in there. You'll be able to, kind of figure out what's happening. I think that's it from us. Huge shout out to Fred for being here, the voice of Detective Frederick Verde. Thank you for joining us. Huge shout out to Daisy, the voice of Dr. Iris Forsyth, right? Yeah. She also has a stream and some other content. So why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, I do YouTube and Twitch stuff at A Spirit of Spring. I do streams once or twice a week and upload on YouTube the same amount.
You're supposed to talk more so I can type in your name. A Spirit of
Spring.
Nailed it. Done. You're done.
Yeah,
No
what
more.
else
You're
to
cut
say?
off. And then shout out to Mr. Pickles, the storyteller and DM of our show. He also has some other content that he would like to tell us about.
Yes, I know I have a time limit, so I do, and I took that personally. It's on Spotify podcast. It's on Apple Podcasts. You can find it. It's myself and my friend Brad. We talk about movies that we love, and if we can't get our movie recorded and edited by the end of the month, what we're going to do is we are going to have my first project of Evil Bong episodes put out. So if you want to know about an entire shitty series, I'm going to maybe put out 13 episodes of like 20-minute length things that are about movies that you really don't care about and you don't want to watch, and they're really awful, and I make awful theories about them.
Time.
And thank you to Mr. Rack for bringing us all together for these amazing campaigns that we've been doing.
Hell yeah.
That's me.
Hell yeah. You're the administrator here.
Administrator. Yeah. I
No,
run
let's give him a round of applause. Let's give him a round of applause. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Now you do it.
Yeah, I knew to clap there. I told us that we were clapping so I could scream.
We were talking about how, like, I was like, welcome, like, we're finally here, we're all gathered, and welcome to King's Crossing. And then it was just silent. I was like, that's where my players were supposed to go, like, woo!
We were not
No.
given we weren't given
we had the we
didn't have a
two
script.
writers.
I was so mad. I've watched all these other, like, content creators, like, air their episodes, and, like, all, woo, the hype behind it, and then I aired mine, and it's just, okay. I was like, no.
We have our own special way of doing things, Rack.
Oh yeah, that's true. Check out my YouTube channel. I post all these episodes on there. Everything's on there. Drinks and discussions we just recorded. I think we're still streaming under that title because I'm a terrible content creator and I forgot to change the title. But it's fine.
I think you changed it. I think you did.
Not this time. Last
Nah.
week I
Shaking
did.
his head.
Last week I
never
did. I
mind, you
remember.
didn't.
This time I didn't. But Under the Table's on there. All the series. We don't record one for every single episode, but we record them as we're able to. But we discussed the campaign in a whole, so it covers everything. Anyways, I gotta go. That's it for me. Thank you guys for joining. Join us on the Discord where all of us can be found. You can talk to us throughout the week, and we will see you in the next episode. Later.
Adios.
Say your line,
I have a
Pickles.
line. I love you.
Okay, your turn, Daisy.
Ashes, ashes, we are.